Now, that's a campaign that has traveled far and wide and received a lot of mileage so far, all focused on making sure that the arms in circulation in society is reduced, if not completely, or are reduced, if not completely eliminated. Like I said, I have the Executive Secretary of the National Commission on Small Arms. Mr. Apple, you're welcome to the show. We have just 3 days to the elections. Let me take your assessment of the campaign so far.
Thank you very much, and thank you to your viewers. If I want to grade us for the campaign that we've done so far, I think I will be giving ourselves probably 95%. 5% because out of all the constituencies that we've been to, with the exception of Jirapa, all the candidates committed to gun-free, violence-free elections. Okay. And so, minus Jirapa.
Let's talk a little bit about Jirapa. What happened there?
Well, what happened was that the Catholic Church decided to take over the whole exercise and organize a town hall meeting and allow the political parties to, as it were, put out their messages, and there were questions and answers moments. And there were a little bit of political jabbing from the young NDC candidate who was the former MC, and I think that irritated the MPP candidate a bit. So there was a bit of misunderstanding there. So they couldn't come to the table to sign or, agree to any... Well, there was some level of persistence from the Catholic Church, the father, and then the Queen Mother who presided over the event. And so he later on mounted the stage to pledge. Okay. But it wasn't like the spontaneous response that we normally get from the parliamentary candidates. So I tell you what, in a place like Samankesi, Lower West Achim, the MPs demonstrated that brotherliness and that cordiality, to the extent that we normally have a plaque that we present to you, a gun with a twisted mouth, which is the symbol that the United Nations uses in the United Nations General Assembly Hall. And what it means is that let the guns remain silent for development to go on. Well, and that is the plaque we have adopted. To the extent that in Lower West Achin, it was the MPP candidate that presented the plaque to the MPP candidate. And
the NDC.
The MPP guy presented it to the NDC, and the NDC presented it to the MPP candidate. Right. So I didn't do it. In most places we have been, although you realize that maybe the issues that read their head, for which reason probably they were classified, most of them have been dealt with or doused. Okay. You really could not get the candidates to stand on the same platform to, as it were, engage.
It was a difficulty for you.
It was a difficulty to put them to. And it was a question that a lot of people kept asking me, why can't you bring them together? For me, the campaign is to try and build a consensus among the elite. That look, elections is about counting ballots and not counting people. And so if I can get you to commit to Ghanaians and to your constituents via the media, for me, I've achieved my objective. Okay. And we'll match your actions against the words that you're giving us.
We did a project for 2 weeks that we dubbed Safety for My Votes, where we asked communities to speak up about the concerns they had about security. What they did was that one theme that was running through was that there were so many armed robberies going on in our communities, and the people fear that these arms that are being used to commit the robberies are still in the hands of individuals who may be able to use it on the election day, especially in the hotspots. What do you say on the ballots?
What I can say, and if you listen to the IGP, is that they've declared every polling station.
They would approach every election, every polling station as a hotspot.
As a hotspot and as a security zone. And even our law prohibits the public display or discharge of your firearm under Section 5 of the Arms and Ammunition Act. It doesn't allow anybody to display or fire your firearms in public. and the polling station is a public place. I've appeared on a TV station, today, a sister TV station, and what I said was that I see a certain phenomenon, entertainers, celebrities, packing their weapons by their thighs, like the way we see the security
in Ghana.
In Ghana. And for me, I think it's something that...
I haven't really seen anything like that.
You haven't seen anything like that?
No. But that's something that's going on.
Well,
so what is the Commission's agenda or plan to deal with that? Because if you have seen it and it exists, then we probably will see that.
So first and foremost, public display and public discharge is against the law. That's a law enforcement function. That's police straight away. What are we trying to do? What we can do from the Commission's point of view in proliferation is to try and adopt one of the strategies in mopping up weapons. And there are various strategies. There are what we call the weapon buyback, where you give a cash amount that anybody who brings a weapon.
Is it working? I think I got my answer from your reaction. It looks like it's not working.
When we've tried it during the Yana, in Yendi, but sometimes and then even in Boko, if the insecurity, the factors that causes the insecurity, they are still present. Sometimes you can offer somebody really 1 million. If he knows he will die, he can't chop the 1 million. He won't bring his gun.
Okay.
And so that's one of the strategies. In the circumstances that you are talking about, the strategy that we can use, which is being discussed seriously, is the what we call the cordon and search, surprise. But that is intelligence-led and informant-driven.
Okay.
You must infiltrate that. That is being discussed at the highest level.
Okay.
But normally, even if you want to even use amnesty is where you say, look, bring your gun. I don't want to know how you got it. You know, in Ghana, even if you want to import a firearm like a pistol, you require the permit of the Ministry of Interior first. They'll process
and if you don't do it, you've breached the law. But you say, bring it, we won't penalize you.
If you announce an amnesty, normally you get the law-abiding people. He's holding the pistol illegally or illicitly. He doesn't know how to go out. But the people who are holding the military-type weapons
and using it to cause,
which can challenge police, and they know these are not weapons that are civil categorized, for which if they bring, police will license for them. They won't come.
They won't come.
So the strategy in approaching that category, the armed robbers, the people who are holding the AK-47s, the G3, the MI16s. You
can ask them to drop it off somewhere anonymously. Is that something we have tried before?
We haven't tried that before. We haven't tried that. We haven't tried that before. But would they? And one of the things about when the Côte d'Ivoire experienced the electoral dispute, and
recently,
the last one before Alassane Ouattara came.
Okay.
Then the Gbagbo, a lot of them came into Ghana.
So we hear.
And so, together with the National Security, we embarked upon some duty tour of our borders.
Okay.
One of the things we heard, which we are still, the law is still very difficult Ghana to review laws. What we are trying to do is the issue of informants. So some people saw weapons in a farm.
Okay.
And they reported it to the police that, look, I've seen 10 AK-47 or 3 AK-47s here. So even if you go and report to the police, the police, first of all, is not too sure that what you are telling is true. So we treat you as a suspect.
So I was going to say, is it possible that these are people who have used it and just dumped it there and found a way of saying...
So that's it. So the police doesn't know.
But so the police will treat you as a suspect.
And you can't blame the police.
And that's a problem, right?
That's a problem.
It's making it difficult to deal with the proliferation of arms.
That makes the strategy you are suggesting. That, look, can't people drop? So... If, for example, me, I'm a Thai, I drop my gun and you give Tiando, you see it.
Yeah. You can designate and say the Small Arms Commission is giving you amnesty, but because we know that some of you are skeptical about showing up, put it at Jamestown, near this particular toilet. We'll come for it. And you designate it and maybe you get people to stand by and pick it up. I mean, I don't know. Well, it's something we can think about. Let me take your thoughts on... we have 3 days.
It's a very useful suggestion that I don't want us to dismiss.
Okay, you can look into it later.
We'll
But with 3 days and the work that you have done with the ballots without bullets initiative, what do you see?
What we
happening?
see, I can assure you that we'll have a peaceful elections. First of all, we've done this ballots without bullets. We started it in 2012. We did it in 2016, and we are doing it in 2020. Just at 2016, 2021, because the UNDP got involved, and then the German government got involved, it's taking it to another level.
Okay.
And so that has become bigger. But anytime, I mean, this thing in 2016, when we activated all the guys in the peace architecture, the CSOs, Peace Council, Media Commission checking, intemperate language, etc. We recorded 0 gun-related election. I mean, in our election. So, I expect something like that. My worry is the guns that are in the system. What you've talked about.
Yeah.
How do we mop up the guns? The guns that are causing the law and order concerns for all of us. The ones that will not allow us to have peace in our communities. How can we collect it?
How can we collect it?
That is the issue, but not the election. I know the election will be peaceful.
I'll take your final words. If there's anything I haven't asked you and you want to touch on it.
I mean, there isn't much. The only thing I can say in support of what the IGP said or what's on behalf of the Ministry of Interior Peace Council, we all thank Ghanaians for the peaceful way. Today, I was at a signing ceremony and I fly my flag. I was very proud as a Ghanaian. What I can say to the people who try and foment trouble is that, or the people who bring in the weapons illicitly, you don't know who next the weapon will kill. The armed robber who is holding the gun and attacking that VIP bus, your daughter could be in. And I'm saying this to all the macho men. Under Section 5 of the Arms and Ammunition Act, you are not allowed to display or fire your weapons or firearms in public. The polling station is a public place, it's a security zone. Don't carry your weapons there. If we have a weapon and it's for self-defense, keep it in your house, even if it is licensed. This is my message to Ghanaians. Okay,
I know I said that was the last one, actually, but just a quick one. Have we heard anything on the back of the arms that were seized earlier at the Ghana port, the Tema port?
I think the CID gave some response.
Yeah, they said they were. They realized that they weren't. Yeah, they weren't. The guns that they thought they were, and that they were. What's it called? Gas pistols. Yes. I mean, did the commission get any briefing on this? I mean, the commission should know when
the CID boss himself is a member of the commission.
Of the commission.
Board.
So what information have you received?
The briefing he gave us is what he gave to the public. That these were gas pistols and they are not that harmful.
Well, gas pistols have security analysts have said
they are harmful. Pepper spray,
and they're still we're told they're in the police custody. I'm sure that since the election is drowning every other conversation, we'll get back to that conversation.
Absolutely.
As soon as we can. Mr. Apple, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Jones Apple there with the Small Arms Commission, and they've been embarking on this great idea, which has actually gained a lot of mileage. Ballots without bullets, and they've been trying to go around mopping up, people and saying if you have guns, well, bring it up. Hopefully, don't use it. Hopefully, we'll get some real concrete results as we go ahead 3 days into the election. Well, this is still The Pulse with me, Gifty, and up here.